Comrades, we will now call to order our afternoon business session. Before we proceed with the credentials report, by now you've probably noticed that a familiar face is missing this year. Our dear comrade, Betty Grip, couldn't be with us in person today, though I'm certain she's watching the convention live stream and undoubtedly here with us in spirit. In fact, she sent along a letter to address you all. And I'd ask the Adjutant General to come to the podium to read that letter.
Comrades, Betty is actually watching us live streaming right now, so know that she cares deeply about you. The text message she sent is that she loves all of you. I'm going to read the letter that she sent me and to read to y'all. Commander-in-Chief Al Lippert, national officers, council members, past commanders-in-chief, and all delegates. Let's not forget my cheering section, the Arizona delegation. Today, as you gather together for the 126th VFW National Convention, know that I found myself struggling to write this letter with my heart full of emotions. Advising you of my goodbye due to my health is not easy, especially to those with whom I've shared many years of the challenges of registration and credentials accuracy, and celebrating yet another year of the Veterans of Foreign Wars achievements. Yet, moments like these are also an opportunity to reflect, express gratitude, and cherish the bonds that I have formed since 2009 before I took Comrade David Butter's place as the National Convention Credentials Chairman. My time every year at the VFW National Convention has been more than just work. It has truly been a journey of growth, camaraderie, and shared dreams. Each one of you has left an unforgettable mark on my life, teaching me invaluable lessons about patience, teamwork, and the true meaning of dedication. You have enriched my life in ways that no words can describe, and for that, I am so thankful. To the registration team, it has been an honor to work with and alongside you. We have not only shared cubicles, but also ideals and successes. The laughter during work, breaks, lunch, and even dinner. The brainstorming sessions that stretched over days into years, and together sharing sighs of relief upon meeting the yearly requirements needed for accurate credential numbers. These moments have fostered a deep sense of connection and mutual respect that I will always treasure. To the national officers and all levels of leaders, your leadership and unwavering support have been throughout this journey a guiding light. You continue to lead and guide us with encouragement, promoting an environment where every voice is heard and every effort appreciated. Your commitment to excellence has inspired not only me, but all of us to rise to the occasion and strive to do our very best. As I take a moment to look back on my time here, I am overwhelmed with gratitude. Gratitude for the opportunities to meet you all, the challenges that have made me stronger, and for the unwavering support of a team that I consider family. The memories we have created together will forever hold a special place in my heart, though today will mark the end of my current role as the National Convention Credentials Chairman. It is not goodbye. It is a heartfelt thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the memories we shared, for the lessons learned, and for the friendships that will endure forever. I am confident that the bonds we have forged together will continue no matter where life takes us. I will truly miss seeing each of you in the coming years. Thank you all, and may the future bring you success. Have a great convention. Bertha Betty M. Grip. And Betty, thank you. Now, despite her absence, the Chief will be proud to recognize Betty's years of service and dedication by awarding her with the Commander-in-Chief Gold Medal of Merit. Here to accept the award on her behalf is VFW Department of Arizona Commander Gregory Harrell. Veterans of Foreign Wars, Commander-in-Chief Gold Medal of Merit in citation, awarded to Bertha Betty Grip, Chairman, National Credentials Committee, VFW Post 549, Department of Arizona. In sincere appreciation and recognition of her outstanding leadership, dedication, and exemplary service as Chairman of the National Credentials Committee for the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States, her steadfast commitment to upholding the integrity and accuracy of the credentials process has ensured the smooth operation and credibility of our national conventions. Her guidance, professionalism, and attention to detail has contributed significantly to the success of the organization and demonstrated the highest standards of volunteer service. Her actions epitomize National Commander Al Lippart's call to believe in what you do what you believe in, follow me. Her tireless efforts, unwavering support of the VFW's mission, and her distinguished contributions to our cause is a direct reflection of her commitment to excellence and reflects the proud ideals and high standards of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands and the official seal of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States this 11th day of August, 2025. Signed, Alfred J. Lippart, Commander-in-Chief, and Dan West, Adjutant General. Betty.
Betty, your service to our organization, to our great organization, has been honorable. And we will deeply miss your warm presence and smiling face at our conventions. With that, I will now ask that Joshua Schreck give us the initial credentials report. Josh? Like the Adjutant General.
Good afternoon, comrades. That was weak. I'm going to put an asterisk on this before I even start reading it. See, Betty would just normally start reading. I don't do that. So I'm going to put an asterisk on this for a moment. State commanders, you're very aware at this point. These numbers are not going to be completely accurate. This is the numbers I have as of this moment. We are in the midst of updating them. Again, your department commanders at this point should be very aware. Commander-in-Chief, council members, delegates, the opening credential report for the 126th National Convention is as follows. At the close of business, 4 p.m. yesterday, August 10th, 2025, the total delegates registering their credentials, 1,668. The registered voting strength, 8,272 delegates, 44 department commanders, 42 national council members, 9 past commanders in chiefs, 8 national officers, for a grand total of 8,375 total voting strength. Again, we will get you an update as soon as we have it. But at the request of the Adjutant General, we're going to move on to how does the roll call votes work. I would like to thank the senior vice commanders for asking me to help them understand, and the AQs that were at the dinner last night. Comrades, here's how it works. Upon a request for a roll call vote, once we get into the roll call vote, we will vote by department. Department commanders, you will poll your delegates in attendance that are on the sheet that will be updated and given to you. Department commanders, if you have not seen, you also have instructions. The back of the instruction sheet tells you exactly how you will tally those. Here's some important parts that I want you all to please understand. If a post is not present, present is defined by, in this room, from the time the roll call vote is started, i.e. requested, to the time the final numbers are announced, they are not present otherwise. If you have 10 posts within your department and they all have one delegate strength, if one post is missing, your delegate strength is 9. If another post is in arrears, even though they are here, your delegate strength is now 8. I would ask department commanders to heed the warning. The Adjutant General and the Commander-in-Chief have been very transparent that the sergeants will be walking around. If you do not have the word delegate on the credentials in which you are all wearing, I would ask that you make the sergeants' lives easier, because they do a lot of work and they're always the first ones and last ones here. Please make their life easier. If it does not say delegate, please just simply move away from your delegation. There's no need in California, Texas, some of these bigger states, y'all got a lot of posts. There's no need to confuse them, especially the Texas folks. They have trouble counting. Oh, boo. All right. So, oh, Willie, you don't want none. All right, so I would ask that you please give your state commander a little bit of grace as they're doing the numbers. The other thing that came up is I'm going to ask very nicely, the Western Conference knows I can ask nicely all the time. I'm going to ask very nicely that you please do not call somebody at your post to ask how you need to vote. You, comrade, with delegate on your badge, have been elected and entrusted by your post to cast that vote. And our bylaws are clear, and they very clearly state, shall not be instructed. We do not do proxy votings within the Veterans of Foreign Wars. I'm going to make a mistake asking this. Are there any questions? Does everybody understand? If there's a question, please let it be through your department commander so I don't have to. All right, we're all tracking. Are there any Marines who need it repeated? Comrade Commander-in-Chief, for the time being, that concludes my report.
There we are. That's the one I'm missing.
You're going to delay this one.
Comrades, because of the making sure the credentials are correct, I think we can get through most of these, but I am going to delay the report of the Committee on National Bylaws, Manual of Procedure, and Ritual to be delayed until a little bit later on, so that we can, again, make sure we're make sure the numbers are correct. So we're going to start off with the report of Committee on Finance and Internal Organization and the chairman, John Moon, for their committee report.
Let's start with convention rules first. I
Oh,
may have
oh.
skipped over.
Yeah, okay.
My mistake.
We're going to go convention rules first, and that would be the chairman, past commander-in-chief, Larry Rivers. Sorry about that, sir.
Commander-in-Chief, thank you very much. The Committee on Convention Rules met Sunday, August the 10th, 2025. I would like to thank Vice Chair Larry Maher and members of the staff for their assistance. Please refer to your schedule of resolutions booklet on pages 44 and 45, and you will find the proposed rules for this convention. At this time, I would ask Vice Chair Larry Maher to read the convention rules in their entirety for consideration by the delegates. Vice Chair Maher.
Well, I have a little bit of the Columbia creep and crud here, so if my voice starts to fumble a little bit, I beg your The Committee on Convention Rules met Sunday, August the 10th, 2025, and agreed to the following recommendations, which are respectfully submitted for your consideration. First, that in accordance and conjunction with the national bylaws and manual of procedure, and with any exception noted herein, the current edition of Robert's Rules of Order newly revised shall be recognized as the parliamentary authority for this convention. 2, that when a registered delegate desires to make a motion or address the convention, the delegate shall rise, address the chair as Comrade Commander-in-Chief, and after being recognized, shall state their name, post number, and the department before proceeding. 3, a registered delegate shall be permitted to speak but twice on any one subject or any pending resolution for a period not to exceed 5 minutes each, except by consent of 2/3 of the voting strength of the convention present and voting, provided that the chairman of convention committees may speak as frequently as necessary in connection with reports of their committees. In the event of controversy, the presiding officer shall not entertain any motion which will curtail further debate without affording the maker of the motion or a member of the delegation presenting the motion or resolution an opportunity for 5 minutes of final rebuttal. All resolutions offered by individual registered delegates must bear the endorsement of the department commander or, if absent, the department adjutant. All resolutions must be submitted to the Office of the Adjutant General for numbering and referral to the committee no later than 12 p.m. Tuesday, August 12, 2025, and must be accompanied by a written explanation as to why the resolution was not presented to the department convention for consideration. All resolutions offered on the floor at the convention will initially be in writing and shall automatically and without reading be referred to the Adjutant General for assignment to the proper committee. 6, committee chairmen, in reporting on resolutions referred to their committee, shall first read the number of those resolutions upon which favorable action is recommended. Specific resolutions may be set aside for individual action at the request of any delegate, and the others being voted on collectively. After action has been taken on all such resolutions, the chairman shall read the number and title of those resolutions which the committee has disapproved. A resolution disapproved by the committee shall automatically be rejected unless a motion is made and seconded that it be approved, in which case it shall be brought up for debate and convention action. 7, this convention will not consider any resolution dealing with the expenditure or appropriation of organizational funds. 8, The convention will not consider any resolution endorsing legislation sponsored by any other veterans organization or requesting us to join with any other organization in sponsoring legislation not expressly proposed by the members of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. 9. Only delegates present at the meeting of the National Convention may speak and debate, make motions, and vote, and shall be entitled to vote the full strength to which the post is entitled. 10. Delegates shall vote individually on any item of business coming before the convention and cannot be required to vote as a block with others from their delegation. 11. Delegate credential registration shall close at 12 p.m. on Tuesday, August 12, 2025. Voting strength shall be determined by those delegates registered as of the close of the credential registration booth the previous day and as reported to the National Convention. The department commanders will receive prior to the beginning of each session a list of posts that have properly registered delegates. Only delegates representing those posts listed on the report will be accorded voting privileges. 12. In accordance with Section 621 of the National Bylaws, voting shall be by acclamation as defined within Robert's Rules of Order newly revised, except a roll call vote may be demanded by 10 registered delegates representing posts in 10 separate departments or by order of the Commander-in-Chief. All motions and matters brought before the convention shall first be decided by a voice vote of the delegates. Following the announcement of the result of a voice vote, a roll call may be requested in accordance with this section. 13. If a roll call vote is required, the following is the order of voting precedence: unaffiliated posts, department commanders, National Council of Administration, past commanders and chiefs, followed by national officers. Ascending alphabetical order by department will be utilized for the National Council of Administration and department commanders. The department commander of each delegation shall poll their delegation's registered delegates on the floor and shall announce the vote of their delegation. 14. Registered delegates of a delegation may arrive at a vote in any manner, but shall announce it in terms of full units and not in terms of a fractional part of a vote. 15. Reconsideration of a motion or resolution upon which final disposition has been made shall not be allowed after the meeting at which it was acted upon or the meeting on which it was acted on has been recessed unless the body is notified of such contemplated action prior to the close of that meeting. 16. When the report of the department commander of the delegation is not acceptable to all registered delegates of the delegation and a poll of the department registered delegates is demanded by 3 registered delegates of that department, the adjutant general shall poll the registered delegates without discussion of the question. 17. Nominating speeches for national officers shall be limited to 5 minutes each. The time allocated to encompass all seconding speeches shall be limited to 4 minutes total. Nomination and election of national officers will be held according to the Congressional Charter, bylaws, and Section 617 of the National Manual of Procedure. 18. Registered delegates and persons recognized by the chair shall be entitled to a respectful hearing, and the chair shall have the authority to clear the gallery or the floor or have the sergeant at arms escort from the floor any person or persons who may create any disturbance which interferes with the orderly procedure of the convention. 19. The Commander-in-Chief may, as may be necessary and appropriate to informing the membership of the activities of this convention, authorize that all parts of the convention be streamed through the website of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. 20. The consent of 2/3 of the voting strength of the convention present and voting is necessary for the rules of this convention. Comrade Commander-in-Chief, I move that these rules be adopted.
Comrades, you've heard the motion come out of committee to adopt these rules as they were presented. Is there any discussion? Microphone one.
Commander-in-Chief, I move to strike rule number 7.
There's a motion on the floor to remove rule number 7. Is there a second? Is there a second? Is there a second? Seeing no one, this motion dies. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none further, we're going to move to the vote. All those in favor of adopting the convention rules as presented signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you. One more. Go ahead.
You can stay right here. Comrade Commander-in-Chief, additionally, Robert's Rules of Order calls for the adoption of the convention agenda. Therefore, I move that the convention agenda that's currently displayed on the VFW website and VFW Convention app, and as from time to time may be adjusted by the Commander-in-Chief, be adopted as the official agenda of the 126th National Convention.
Comrades, you've heard the motion from the committee. We don't need a second. Do I need to repeat the motion? All right. All those in favor of adopting the agenda as presented, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Commander-in-Chief, that concludes my report. Thank you for the opportunity to serve on this committee.
Thank you. The committee will stay in place until we finish the business. And now we're going to move on to the, we will move on to the report of Committee on Finance and Internal Organization. The Chairman, Past Commander-in-Chief, John Moon. Chief.
Thank you, Commander-in-Chief.
You're welcome, sir.
Comrades, I am pleased to report that the Committee on Finance and Internal Organization met Sunday afternoon at 13:30 hours and discussed the items before the committee. The proposed resolutions were distributed to each department and posted online. These resolutions are contained in the booklet that you received at registration, plus each member of the committee received an additional booklet at our meeting. Commander-in-Chief, with your permission, I will begin the committee report by stating those that have been approved, followed by those that are out of order, and followed by those that died in committee. We will proceed with the reading of the resolution number and the title that the committee recommends for approval as written. Resolution number 201, periodic revalidation of the VFW National Resolutions. Commander, I move to accept the committee's recommendation to approve this resolution.
So coming out of committee. There is no second. It's been moved that we approve as presented. Is there any discussion? This is 201. Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Nay. Motion carries. Thank you.
The following resolutions died in committee or were ruled out of order. Resolution 204, family rate, was ruled out of order. Resolution number 205, approved use of nautical officer titles for ships, died for the lack of a motion. Resolution 206, establishment of a technology feasibility review committee, died with no motion. Resolution 207, establish a national VFW suicide awareness and prevention program, died for lack of a second. Resolution number 208, endorse, fully support, and partner with the Submariners Advocacy Group, died for no second. Resolution number 209, endorse and fully support Submariners Advocacy Group. It died for no motion. We'll now proceed by reading the resolution numbers and title that the committee recommends for rejection. Resolution number 202 is to restore the Voice of Democracy Parade of Winners to the National Legislative Conference. This resolution was rejected in consideration of 203. Resolution 203, preserving the Voice of Democracy and Patriots Pen, Washington, D.C. Parade of Winners trip. Action taken by the body in that meeting was to reject. Comrade Commander, I recommend we do not adopt these resolutions.
Comrades, you've heard the recommendation from the committee. Unless there's a request to set aside, we will now adopt the committee's recommendation. So, is there any discussion? Three? Okay, microphone number 3, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief, Hope Blood, Delegate, Arizona Post 12210. I move that we set aside Resolution 207.
Motion 207 is set aside? No?
Motion to accept. Is there a second?
Okay. That's a motion to accept. Is there a second? Is there a second? Yeah. Microphone number 3.
Comrade Commander, Allison Helm, Buckeye, Arizona, Post 12098. I'd like to second that.
The motion to accept, and we've got a second. Discussion on Resolution 207. Any discussion on Resolution 207? Hearing and seeing. Comrades, if you want to come up, please move a little quicker so we can see you. All right. I recognize the comrade at microphone number 3, please.
Comrade Commander, Allison Helm, Buckeye, Arizona, Post 12098. I just want to explain that it is more than just saving lives, and we're all here vocalizing that we're wanting to do that, but we're not showing the action. So I want to push this to help do that.
Microphone 1, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief Jim Layton, Department of Montana, Post 4067. I would ask that we set aside Resolution 203.
We already have a motion on the floor right now. So we'll.
You're on something else right now.
Yeah. Microphone number 3, please.
Comrade Brandt, Post 285, Arizona. I think what's missing here and some confusion, we already had a suicide mental health resolution last year. This was trying to close up some of those holes. The one that was proposed and accepted so far is about the VA. What was denied and what we're trying to push through is for all mental health and suicide services to be, worked with in an actual suicide program. In Arizona, we have an actual suicide program chairman that does training, that prepares us and helps us and advocates for us. And we think we would all be well served with that at the national level, not just encouraging the VA to give a damn. That's what I have to say, Commander-in-Chief. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade. Microphone number 1. Nope. Nope.
We're going to have the staff give their comments on it.
I'd like to ask the staff to comment.
Comrades, this Resolution 207 was recommended for rejection in the staff in favor of Resolution 603, mental health disorders, proposed by the Commander-in-Chief. Comrades, the VFW is already deeply committed to suicide prevention and veteran mental health, as no one can probably better attest to our Commander-in-Chief. Rather than creating a new program that duplicates or possibly conflicts with current efforts, the VFW simply needs to build on its existing momentum, strengthen coordination with VA and within national programs and posts, and avoid any duplication or over-regulating where flexibility is key to outreach and response. Resolution 603, in which we rejected in favor of, focuses on impact and not infrastructure. And while 207 is sincere, we respectfully suggest that it needs to be in favor of enhancing the strong work that the VFW is already doing that is reflected in Resolution 603.
Chair recognizes microphone 3.
Thank you, Commander. Tom Anderson, Post 4008, Texas. We are well aware of the conjunction with the VA, but I think the aspect of this is getting the person from crisis to clinic and advocating for more training for the members here that sit at our post to be able to explain or advocate for a person who is not getting to the VA or does not want to self-report. So if that's where we're looking at, then that's what I would think that this is a good thing that we're looking for. So.
Thank you. Microphone 3 again, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief Dave Souza, Post 3396, delegate to this convention. As this resolution, it sounds really good in developing a suicide program for the veterans of foreign wars. I would have to look at number 2, bullet number 2. It says standardized training for VFWs in leadership and suicide prevention, crisis intervention, and mental health awareness. As I am a assist Safe Talk trainer, every state has different training requirements by their Department of Veteran Services. If we're going to mandate a certain one from the Veterans of Foreign Wars perspective, the VA has their own suicide training, every state has their own suicide training, and even some counties, they all have different suicide trainings, but they all participate in the same module, doing the same thing, trying to help people from committing suicide. If we standardize our VFW training just to the VFW, we're missing the training aspects of our own states, our own counties, and even our own cities. So I would say that that part of the resolution should go away. This program, to create a VFW suicide program, should be in existence, but if we're using 603 to fall back on, that may not meet the standards. But the standard here of having a specialized training for just us may not be the right way to go either. So I would still reject Resolution 207 in favor of the other one until we can come back and figure out what we're going to do for the training side. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Microphone 1, please.
Peter Hook, National Chaplain, Delegate to this convention from Post 6076. I recommend we reject this resolution. I agree with what our council said, but you need to be aware that as National Chaplain for the last couple of years, we've been conducting training sessions for all of our post, district, and state and conference chaplains, and part of that training involves mental health awareness and suicide prevention. Our goal is to train the chaplain to ultimately go back into the post. So I feel that we are already involved in this. We don't need a resolution.
Thank you. Microphone number 3.
Comrade, Commander-in-Chief, Al Cruz, Post 1433, Glendale, Arizona. I rise in support of this motion. Comrade National Chaplain, it's not working. Major Jan E. Nilsson committed suicide while on active duty, Army Reserve officer, counterintelligence special agent in Germany in February. It's not working. But we're a combat organization. We understand it best. This motion isn't rejecting any other help. This motion is recommending that we work with the VA and any other agency on the national level. Lead from the front, that's always been the motto. That's all I have to say. Thank you for listening.
We're staying at microphone 3, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief Dan Kramer, Delegate Post 8258 out of the great state of Nebraska. I would just like to say that after considering this resolution, our elected commander-in-chief has proposed one that does the same or more than this resolution does. We have elected this man to lead our organization. And I don't believe that we need to have a vote of no confidence by accepting this resolution and rejecting his. Therefore, I stand in rejection of this resolution. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, sir. Microphone 1, please.
Jamil Khan, Post 2312, Wisconsin. Combat Marines from Vietnam to Desert Shield, Desert Storm. I've been around many lives. I was in Beirut. We lost 247. I'm one of the survivors. Sir, I respectfully agree with you, the 603. However, this particular, the one we are talking about, 207, distinctly talks about suicide prevention. As a former commissioner of the United States Congress, we hammered so much suicide prevention should stand alone from the rest of the mental health or oral health programs that are being given. The last VA Secretary requested $18 billion from the US Congress for mental health alone. That meant the whole picture. US Congress committee asked him, what about the $22 billion you cannot account for? My heart bleeds. I request all of you use suicide prevention as a stand alone. This is a cancer in our society. I'm a part of that team that tries to prevent it. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Chair recognizes microphone 1, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief, Carolyn Zoldis, Post 475, Delaware, also state surgeon. As someone who has been a healthcare provider for over 30 years, I do support 207, not in place of 603, but as an adjunct. This is a type of a thing where in so many places somebody walks in and says that they're in crisis and people don't know how to deal with it. People don't want to just, they say, well, here, have a beer. So at a local level, in conjunction with anything that we're already doing, this bill could be certainly an adjunct to 603, and I strongly support 207.
Thank you. Microphone 2, please.
David Kuda, California Department Commander, member of Post 67. I call for the question.
Call for the question. Is there a second? Microphone 2.
Commander, Mark Steinberg, Delegate Post 1525, State Surgeon, California. I second that motion to call for the question.
All right. We have a motion to call the question. We have the second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Now we need to vote on the, no? Sorry. All right, so we're going to vote on 207. Those in favor of adopting 207 signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Nay.
Standing. Standing.
Comrades, we'd like to do a rising vote. All in favor, please rise.
So let's do a standing vote. If you are in favor of adopting 207, stand up. Delegates only. Delegates only.
Guards, please check.
Guards, please check.
Just let them walk. We're not going to actually have them counter check.
Yeah. Please be seated. All opposed, please rise. Delegates only. Hmm?
The chair isn't in doubt. It's rejected.
Yeah, there is, please be seated. This motion has been rejected. 207 has been rejected. All right?
Yes. Are there any other resolutions that anyone wants set aside? Mike 1.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief, I now rise at the appropriate time to request that Resolution 203 be set aside. Oh, and Jim Layton, Department of Montana, Post 406 Delegate, 4067 Delegate.
Okay. Is there a second? Microphone 1.
Victoria Haddix, that's odd. Post 5890, New Mexico. I second that motion.
Thank you. There's a motion on the floor and seconded to adopt 203. Is there any discussion? Microphone 1.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief, Jim Layton, Post 4067 Delegate, Department of Montana. Once again, I rise in support of this resolution. The VOD Patriots Pen is one of our premier programs for youth. This needs to remain in our control. It does not need to be passed on to other entities like Valley Forge. I'm sure that the Valley Forge experience is a great experience, but it is not the VFW experience. Our youth deserve to be in contact with us. I can tell you as a past department commander, one of the most valuable things I got to do during my year was go to Washington, D.C. and interact with these youth, not just the winner from our department, but all of those youth, to see the caliber of youth that are coming up. You can't get that if they go to Valley Forge, because we won't be there. So I rise in favor of keeping or bringing back our VOD Patriots Pen back to Washington, D.C., so that we can maintain control of that program. If it's a concern about liability or having more chaperones, then we need to tighten our shop group, not pass it off to someone else. So with that, I again rise in favor of Resolution 203.
Thank you.
Stay right there. Hold on. We're going to have the staff comments read and a letter from the main sponsor.
Okay. We're just stand fast. We are now going to have comments from the staff.
Thank you, Comrade Commander-in-Chief. Again, John Mucklebauer, General Counsel, Delegate, Post 3712, Kansas. Comrades, I want to begin by reading a brief statement presented to the VFW by Prasad Reddy, who has been gracious enough to underwrite for several years now the funding for the Voice of Democracy Patriots Pen program. His view on this was sought, and I think it would be beneficial for everybody to hear it. Dear VFW, I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing to express my full support for the recent decision to relocate the Voice of Democracy and Patriot Pen Scholarship Winners Experience from Washington, D.C. to the Freedoms Foundation at Valley Forge, known now as Founding Forward. When this move was first discussed, I was admittedly hesitant. Washington, D.C. has long been a powerful symbol of our nation's history and civic life. However, after learning more about the immersive educational opportunities offered at Founding Forward, I quickly became convinced that this change represents a significant enhancement of both programs. This is more than a change in location. It's a transformation in experience. Founding Forward offers students the chance to not just visit history and civics, but to truly live them. Through hands-on learning, meaningful dialogue, and exposure to the very grounds where liberty was forged, students gain a deeper understanding of their roles as citizens and future leaders. I believe this move will greatly enrich the Voice of Democracy and Patriot Pen programs. It aligns perfectly with VFW's mission to foster patriotism, civic responsibilities, and leadership among our youth. I wholeheartedly support this change and sincerely hope the VFW continues forward with this vision rather than reverting to the previous format. Thank you for your continued dedication to empowering the next generation of American leaders. Signed, Prasad Reddy. Comrades, these and other reasons were fully considered by your National Council of Administration in their decision to move it to Founding Forward. And I ask that you give that the weight that it deserves. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair recognizes microphone 1.
Letty Austin, Department of New Jersey, VFW Post 12165. Comrade Commander, with all due respect, this is a national program, and for national to punt the program because of liability reason just doesn't cut it. It's because a post and a district is still going to be required to do this. We're sending students to Valley Forge who competed or participated in the VFW program. There's still some liability attached to that. Being from New Jersey, this year, our first place winner, that was her first time along with her mother in Washington, D.C. When I explained to her that this would be the last year for that, she was disappointed. And she said this was her first time, and then she said, you know how much that we got out of this program? So in the Department of New Jersey, in the spirit of the program, our council voted to fund the program through New Jersey. We're on Saturday, where that winner from New Jersey come from, we're going to get with their congressional leader, and then we will do a tour with that congressional leader and aide on Saturday. Go around and visit the monuments, teach them about the elected system in Washington, D.C., where the business gets handled. And then on Sunday, we're going to go to Arlington National Cemetery, and we're going to place a memorial wreath in honor of fallen soldiers from the Department of New Jersey. There's a lot that can be done, and we shouldn't be having to compete against Washington, D.C. and Valley Forge, when right now we do both programs. I'm in favor of 203.
All right, thank you. Let's stay with microphone number 1, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief Dave Mosky, Delegate, Post 1064, West Virginia. I stand in opposition to 203. I've been to Washington Conference multiple times. Our delegates aren't there. Their staffers are there. We can continue this national program at Valley Forge and expose a new generation to different things. This is a grassroots organization. If we want exposure to our members, that happens at the post level, at the district level, at the department level. Taking the liability aside, this is the right move for the organization because it puts these kids in a place where they're immersed in the education and can continue that. We shouldn't be involving our kids in Washington, D.C. anymore. We need to go to Valley Forge.
Thank you. Microphone number 2, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief Ken Wiseman, National Council Member of the Department of Virginia. Comrades, I rise today opposed to this resolution, and I rise also to add some context I think is missing. Your National Council members, one from each of your departments, debated this extensively for the better part of an hour and truly for a weekend before we made this decision. This decision takes into account that Valley Forge includes a very robust training program that you just heard Prasad talk about. We also polled the students who had previously gone to the D.C. trip. Many of them said they had already been to D.C., but if they took the Valley Forge trip, which already exists and would be more robust, many of the kids said they had never been to Valley Forge when they went and that they enjoyed that as well. When we talk about minimizing the risk, you can never eliminate it, but as an organization, we, as your council members, felt that the proposal coming forward from Valley Forge, who said they would assume all legal liability, put this organization in a much stronger position to maintain a very robust program for the kids, but also to do so in a way that protects this organization. And I even say this coming from Virginia, where the Washington Conference happens, and not even many members of my own department go to D.C. for that conference. So we make this move. It preserves the programs in your posts and your districts and your departments who want to keep doing things like we heard New Jersey say, and I applaud that. But you trusted your council member to go make tough decisions for this organization. Tough decisions were made. And comrades, I ask that you stand with your council member and trust that we did what was best. Comrade Commander-in-Chief, I ask everyone to vote no, and I yield the floor.
Thank you very much. Microphone number 1.
Jim Nail, Department of Missouri, Post 5789. I also speak in opposition to this resolution. The Valley Forge move does not harm the Voice of Democracy program. It enhances it. I've had a chance to talk to a lot of students over the last several years. Many departments don't send their student to Valley Forge. They don't get that experience. The ones I've talked to that have done both, 100% of them said the Valley Forge was the most valuable part of the experience. Granted, it's not an exhaustive list, but the ones I've talked to, that's how they felt. I believe this is in the best interest of our students and the best interest of our program. Thank you.
Thank you. One, and then we'll go to another microphone.
Commander, Keith Lewis, Post 5080, Department of Georgia. I stand and oppose to this resolution for the simple reason I've had the great honor of being a chaperone to both events. The one in Washington, D.C., I was a chaperone and I had the great honor of being a chaperone at Valley Forge. When the students go to Washington, D.C., they get a chance to meet each other, to talk to each other, and become friends for life. When they go to Valley Forge, they reinforce that friendship that they have, and they have more freedom on their own. They're not quite, when I was a chaperone there at Valley Forge, they had more freedom and they weren't as chaperone. Yes, they were in a more controlled environment, but they got to do more things, interact with each other without the supervision of us. So I stand opposed to this. I thank you very much.
Thank you. Microphone 3, please.
Comrade Commander Mark Arduino, VFW Post 3238, Quartermaster General of the VFW. I rise in opposition to 203 as the officer responsible in the VFW for insurance, including liability. I am the individual who sat in an interview with Locked-In Insurance Company to review exactly this and provided that section to the report that went to the National Council of Administration. The folks from Locked-In said it very clearly. This measure holds all the red flags that bring liability to an organization. You have minors, people under 18, away from their homes overnight in another city, in another state. This we have to be careful about. It's not a matter of simply punting liability. This is grave liability that we're taking and assuming upon ourselves. I urge everyone to vote no. Thank you.
Microphone number 1, please.
Commander-in-Chief Bob Barnhart, delegate from New York, Post 686. I move that we put this to a vote to the membership, and I would also add that our council member never advised the delegates in New York about this. It came out after that we were hearing a scuttlebutt. So I move that we put this up for a vote. Thank you.
Motion's out of order. Microphone 3.
Commander-in-Chief, Dan Garcia, Post 1685, delegate, also council member. I call a question.
Question's been called. Is there a second?
Commander-in-Chief, Carol Casa, Post 10,029, Department of Alaska delegate. I second that motion.
Thank you. Motion and a second. All in favor of calling the question signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. So now we're going to vote on the question on the resolution.
Resolution 203, all in favor? Resolution 203 of adopting.
All those in favor of adopting Resolution 203 signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay.
Nay. We don't have to stand up this time.
No. The nays have it. The resolution is gone.
Are there any other set-asides? Comrade Commander, that concludes my report. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir. All right. I want to thank the Committee on Finance and Internal Organization and the Chair, John Moon, and his committee dismissing you. And I thank you for your work on this committee. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, now we're going to have the report of the Committee on General Resolutions. Chairman, Past Commander-in-Chief, Bill Thine.
Thank you, Commander-in-Chief. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Commander-in-Chief Liphart, I'd like to report to you that the Convention Committee on General Resolutions convened at 1:30 Sunday, August 10th, 2025. Roll call was taken. Preliminary matters were discussed. The committee carefully deliberated its assigned
resolutions. Also, I want to thank you for this appointment. To Tom Poliot, Vice Chairman, I want to thank you, and mostly to the committee. I had a committee this year that didn't mind speaking their piece, but that's what it's all about, so I want to thank you for that. Okay, approved as amended. That'd be 301. Affirming the U.S. flag and the POW/MIA flag as the sole flags endorsed by the VFW to honor and remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Since it was amended, I would like to read the "be it further resolved" area. It was basically housekeeping, however, you may have an old copy, so I'm going to read that. Be it resolved that the VFW encourage all posts, districts, departments, and their auxiliaries to continue the proud tradition of displaying and honoring these two sacred emblems at all ceremonies, memorials, and events dedicated to the following. So at this time, as chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adopt 301 as amended.
We have a motion to adopt 301 as amended. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Do you have one? Yeah. Microphone one, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief Donnie Duncan, Post 2239, Virginia. I recommend we set 301 aside.
All right, 301 will be set aside.
Thank you.
Commander-in-Chief Carl Dozier, Post 2894, Virginia, Department of Virginia. Second that motion.
No second necessary. It is set aside. Let's go into discussion. Microphone number one, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief Donnie Duncan, Post 2239, Virginia. The reason I asked that this be set aside is so that we could possibly move to have the Honor and Remember flag also included with the POW/MIA flag as a flag that the veterans of foreign wars of the United States would support. The Honor and Remember flag probably, to most folks, don't mean a lot. But to those that have lost a child, a brother, sister, father, mother, whatever, in the service of this country, they do understand. There's such a thing as called the Gold Star families. Of course, it started with the Gold Star mothers back in World War II, and it's continued on to now. I'm a member of a Gold Star family, and I understand the significance of the Honor and Remember flag because, unfortunately, I happen to have one. And so I honestly believe that just like with most people in the United States, do not know what that black and white flag means. A lot of veterans don't know what that black and white flag means. The Honor and Remember flag is significant, even to a small portion of our membership. I'm standing here with one Gold Star father right behind me. So for that, I'll yield the floor. Thank you, sir.
Microphone one, please. No? Okay. Microphone number three, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief Dave Souza, Delegate, Post 3396 to this convention. I stand to approve 301 as written or as amended. And we talked about 302 for several years. And I know several Gold Star families that also do not want this flag presented to them in behalf of American flag on their casket, or even any, it could be done in a different ceremony, but I request 301 be approved and 302 be disapproved. Thank you.
Microphone one, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief Carl Dozier, Chesapeake, Virginia, Post 2894. There's a misconception on the Honor and Remember flag.
It is not to be presented to the family in lieu of the American flag. Not even at the same time. It is something, over 6,000 have been presented to families across this country, representing from the American Revolution until the current time. I have a friend whose grandfather was lost in a submarine during World War II. Nobody ever recovered. When she received her grandfather's flag, it meant a great deal to her. I just can't understand the myopic view that some have that the Honor and Remember flag is supposed to replace our national colors. When my son came home, he came home under the American flag, not under the Honor and Remember flag. But that flag flies at my house. Neighbors see it. It's an educational tool. When they stop the Coca-Cola 600 Memorial Day for an hour or for a minute, and they display a 30 by 50 foot of Honor and Remember flag, they're educating 100,000 people sitting out in that stadium of what the sacrifice means to those of us who have lost a loved one. That no one, unless you've lost one, understands fully. Thank you, sir.
Hold the discussion. Yeah, just you and I. Okay. Remind them that this is not a discussion on motion 302 or 303. This is a discussion on accepting or rejecting 301. The remarks need to remain on accepting or rejecting 301.
I want to remind you that we're discussing 301, not 302 or 303. So let's keep the focus on 301 and accepting or rejecting 301. Microphone 1.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief Dave Mosky, 1064 Delegate. I make a motion to table 301 so 302 can be discussed.
Motion's out of order. Motion's out of order. Microphone. Microphone number 1. Oh, he's moving up. Is there any other discussion? Any other discussion? Microphone number 1, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief, Ashley Little, Post 4548, Delegate. If I'm not mistaken, Commander-in-Chief Thine put the vote up for approval. I don't know why we set it aside, and then we went right into debate anyway. So I'll go on and say this. This about the honoring the family flag. It's been on this convention floor that I know of 2 or 3 times in the recent years. It's been defeated and it's been defeated. I'm not sure about the set aside. I think that was out of order. I'm not sure because we had a motion on the floor to approve it. So I'm in support of 301 and I call for the question.
Is there a second? Is there a second? Recognize microphone 3.
Russell, Delegate, Iowa. I second that motion.
All right.
We'll now vote on the question. All in favor of approving 301?
Okay. All right, we're now calling the question. All.
Just so we are clear.
Yeah.
In approving 301 and read the title.
Yeah. Okay. Again, just to make it clear, we're voting whether we're going to affirm the U.S. flag and the POW MIA flag as the sole flags endorsed by the VFW to honor and remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. That does not include an amendment. That does not include an amendment. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it.
Commander-in-Chief.
Yes, sir.
Tom Poliot, Vice Chairman of the Committee on General Resolutions. The committee also considered Resolution 302, and they recommended.
Oh, have you voted on that? What is your
What's the, what is the,
Rick Raskin, Post 7589, Manassas, Virginia, past state commander. The motion was to call the question. We need to call the question before we discuss the motion.
we are going to vote on, my mistake. We're going to vote on the motion. 301 for adoption or rejection. No?
Move the question.
We voted to move the question. We did. We didn't? Okay. All right. Okay. All those in favor of moving the question signify by saying aye. All those opposed, nay.
All those who want 301.
Now we're going to call on 301. All those in favor of adopting 301 signify by saying aye. All those opposed, nay. Okay. Motion carries. Okay. Okay. Let's do this again. Thank you.
Commander-in-Chief, Tom Poliat, Vice Chairman of the General Resolutions. The committee recommended rejection of 302 in favor of 301. The committee also moved to reject 303 and 304.
Chair recognizes microphone one, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief, my name is Jim Wickering, Post 392, delegate from Virginia, and I move that we adopt Resolution 302.
Out of order. All right. I'll ask if you want an explanation. Let's ask. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Chief. The reason that would be out of order is Robert's Rules of Order, which we've all agreed to abide by. 1026.35 clearly states that any motion that is substantially the same as a previously adopted or rejected motion shall not be considered. Being that we just passed 301, 302 is substantially the same as it's discussing honor flags. That motion would be considered out of order under Robert's Rules of Order. Again, that's going to be 1026.3 and 5.
Thank you. Microphone number 2, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief John Keane, Post 1. I ask that Resolution 304 be set aside for consideration for adoption.
Is there a second?
Heath Silcox, Department of Utah, Post 12087. I second it.
Thank you. Motion and a second to set that aside. Microphone 2, please, for discussion.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief John Keane again, Post 1. I stand in support of this resolution because the RNC and the DNC are both private corporations who don't have the voters' interest in mind, let alone the country's. Now, as an organization, we have recognized that we need to become relevant to the post 9/11 veterans if we want this organization to continue. Now, recent studies have shown that 55% of those post 9/11 veterans are independent. They fail to align themselves with either of the two major parties. Unfortunately, 15 states currently have closed primaries, so those veterans, when they get home, they are shut out of the process by these previously referenced private corporations. So adopting this resolution will show to these independent veterans that the VFW supports them by allowing them to be able to participate in the fundamental constitutional right that they fought to protect. So I would argue that adopting this amended motion, which I would ask the committee chair to read the amended motion that came out of the committee, to support broad legislation instead of a specific act that will allow us to show these younger veterans that we are out there fighting for them to protect their rights that they fought to protect for everyone else. And that's why I support the adoption of this motion.
Thank you. Microphone 1, please.
Commander-in-Chief Matthew Walker, Montana delegate. I did a little research into this motion. I believe it's an unlawful motion because it's a political motion. The idea of open primaries was introduced by Ron Powell, chairman of the DNC, in 1995, and also Supreme Court decision 2000 that determined it unconstitutional in the case of California Democratic Party versus Jones. And then the DNC reworded it to have independence. And if you follow the money trail, that most of the supporting groups have been funded by DNC. And so therefore, it's a very political motion, and we do not want to be a political organization. We're supposed to be apolitical. There are currently 14 lawsuits in states against Democratic Party for this motion. Thank you.
Microphone 2.
Comrade Commander Eric Brunner from Post 3500 in Missouri. I rise in support of Resolution 304 as amended. This is not a partisan issue, comrades. This is not a political issue. This is a voting rights issue for the millions of independent veterans who live in our country and don't want to be forced to join a private organization in order to exercise the franchise. Here's the problem. If you're an independent veteran living in New York, or Pennsylvania, or Florida, or Oregon, you pay taxes just like Republicans and Democrats, but you don't get to vote in your own public primary election. Your schools are used for those elections, poll workers are funded by those taxpayers, but you don't get to vote because you won't join a private organization. The VFW has been a leader for serving veterans for over 100 years. And this is an opportunity for the VFW to lead on behalf of independent veterans. As my comrade John Keene said, over 50% of veterans do not identify with one private political party or another. They should be allowed to vote in every single election. And that's what this resolution is about.
Microphone 3, please.
Commander-in-Chief Dan Klimisch, Post 791, Yankton, South Dakota. This is an issue of local control. South Dakota had an amendment similar to this, Amendment H, which was rejected by the voters, 66 to 34%. This is an issue of local control where the people that live in that state should decide for themselves how they're going to vote. Local control by the states. Thank you.
Microphone 1, please.
Chief Scott St. Onge, Department of Vermont, past state commander. Point of order that this is out of order due to the fact that our bylaws clearly state that we do not engage in politics or any type of pandering to any of the groups. So with this saying that we're going to be involved in the primary process, that places us directly in conflict with our national bylaws stating we stay out of politics. Thank you, Chief.
Not well taken. Thank you. Microphone 3.
Kat Pica, South Dakota, Post 1273. We are a private organization, so does every veteran off the street who refuses to join us get to sit here and vote? Yes, it is no different because you can join any of those organizations and vote in your primaries. The individuals choose not to join, just like veterans out there choose not to join the VFW, and we don't allow them to vote in our organization either.
Microphone 2, please.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief Mark Riley from Post 6859, Department of Maine. I am one of the many who are currently unenrolled from a political party. However, When I had a candidate that I wanted to support from the Republican Party, I joined the Republican Party for a period of time long enough so I could vote. And then I became unenrolled from a party again. When there was a Democrat that I supported, I enrolled in the Democrat Party and voted, and then I became unenrolled again. Nobody is tying anyone's hands to stay in one party or the other. Nobody's saying you can't vote. But there are procedures in place, and the procedures are decided by each individual state. I strongly oppose this. I think we should vote no. Thank you, Commander.
Microphone 3.
Thank you. Microphone 3, please.
John Penman, Post 6740, Leesville, South Carolina. I'd like to call the question.
Motion to call the question. Is there a second?
Motion to call the question. Is there a second? Microphone number 1.
Commander, Vermont, Normal Blank. I second that motion.
Motion been seconded. All those in favor of calling the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing only a couple nays. The ayes have it.
Now voting on the motion.
Now we're going to vote on the motion.
All in favor of 304.
All in favor of 304 signify by saying aye. All those opposed to 304 signify by saying nay. Nay. Again, close, but I believe the nays have it.
Commander-in-Chief, I wish to express my appreciation to the members of the committee, and we thank you for your appointment. This concludes our report.
Thank you. And so, to both the chairs, I want to thank you for your hard work and for doing this. And you are...
No. We stay on for the entire
You're staying
convention.
on for the whole thing? Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah.
I've got an update for him.
Okay. All right, good.
All right, comrades, I've got an update for you from Betty's job that I'm not doing great with. What we have discovered is there was an issue with the kiosk, a technical issue, in that relax, in that it failed to update the main report. We have all of those delegates. The reports are being updated. It's from across the entire organization. Every state, commanders, you saw how many were there, so the rumors that it was only a few states, that's not true. We still love you, Texas. I said I love you this time. It will take about an hour and a half. So we're going to continue doing, hopefully, the less controversial motions and amendments. We do have an absolute hard stop at 4 p.m. So let's be honest, I've got a note from the Adjutant General saying, so we will have to finish business on Tuesday and maybe Wednesday. Did anybody think that wasn't going to be the case to begin with? Okay, cool. Adjutant General, they don't mind.
Comrades, again, I certainly do appreciate and welcome the back and forth that we're having. That's what we're here for. Again, thank you for making yourself heard. And now we'll have the report on national security and foreign affairs. Mr. Chairman.
Chief, this will go easier.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Commander Lippert, I report that your convention committee on national security and foreign affairs resolutions convened yesterday, Sunday, August 10, 2025, at 1:30 p.m. The roll call was taken and preliminary matters were discussed. The committee addressed the Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency. We had Director Kelly McHugh there, the Afghanistan War Commission Senior Advisor for Strategic Communication, Matthew Goesch, and our friends from the Republic of China Veterans Affairs Council were there, represented by Deputy Minister Counsel Chi Yang Wu. committee was comprised of one subcommittee, which was led by past Commander-in-Chief Keith Harmon and Vice Chairman Dwayne Sarmiento, and the main committee was chaired by myself, and Vice Chair was past All-American Department Commander from Kentucky, Bruce Ashley. Bruce? The committee carefully deliberated each of the 9 resolutions that were assigned, and before proceeding to the report, I would also like to express appreciation to Brad Hazel, Director of Operations, and Joy Craig, Associate Director at LS, both of which who work at the Washington offices and who coordinated these resolutions. Commander, now with your permission, I'll begin the committee report by presenting those resolutions the committee recommends for approval as written. I will then proceed to report those resolutions that were recommended to be approved as amended, and those resolutions then finally that were recommended to be rejected. I will then call on Chairman of the POW Subcommittee, as I stated, past Commander-in-Chief Keith Harmon, to report on the couple of resolutions assigned to that subcommittee. As we've seen in the previous, just a reminder, if for any reason you, sir, or any of the delegates to this convention would like a resolution set aside for further discussion, please so indicate after we have completed each segment of the report I'm about to give. I will now proceed by reading the resolution numbers and titles that the committee recommends for approval as written. Recommended, approved as written, Resolution 402, titled Ensure DoD Compliance with TAP Law. Recommended for approval, Resolution 405, Social Security Administration forms. And finally, recommended for approval as written, Resolution 406, titled Supporting the Sovereign Rights of the Philippines. And Commander, I move to accept the committee's recommendation to approve these resolutions. Chief? The motion's been made to approve the ones that I stated, the 4 of them, or 3 of them, rather, sir. Motion's been made by committee.
Motion made to approve 402, 405, 406. Is there a second? We don't need a second, I'm sorry.
Discussion.
Any discussion?
Microphone 3.
Mic 3. You're close. Microphone number 3?
He was there first. He really was.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait a minute.
Cleve McCleary, Pawleys Island, South Carolina, post 6444. Men and women, I owe you a lot. This country owes you a lot.
Comrade, are you asking a second?
I owe you my life.
Pardon me for interrupting you, comrade. Are you asking for a motion to set any of these aside?
Do what?
Yeah.
The guard looks better.
No, sir.
Yeah.
We're not in discussion.
We're not in a discussion at this point because there's no motion, so hold on.
Okay.
So, microphone number 2.
Mark Gelhardt, post 3. Wait a minute. 9949.
You even read that on
Peachtree City, Georgia. I'd like to set aside 405 Social Security form issue.
405 will be set aside.
405 will be set aside.
Any others?
Any other set asides? Okay. Hearing no other set asides, we're going to all those in favor of 402 and 406 signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Ayes have it.
To the set aside 405.
To the set aside 405. Is there
Microphone number 2.
Recognize microphone number 2 for discussion.
Again, Mark Gelhardt, Post 9949, Peachtree City, Georgia. The issue here has much more to do than veterans. Those that have read through the issue indicates that the Social Security mails forms out to overseas retirees that get Social Security benefits. Given several of these retirees might be veterans, and in some cases are veterans, this is not a veterans issue. This is a Social Security issue on the way they do business for all overseas Social Security beneficiaries. We in the Veterans of Foreign War should only be concerned with veterans issues, not overarching issues that the government in general does improperly. I agree with the issue is being handled improperly by the Social Security administration, and I agree that it does affect some veterans overseas, but this is not a veterans issue. Thank you.
Any further discussion? On 405. Microphone number 1, please.
Senior Vice Al Argel, 5471, Maryland. Now, for transparency, I don't live outside the U.S., so it doesn't really affect me right now for this. But most of my friends are outside the country. My wife came from another country, so maybe someday I'll be living outside the country. But let's see. The guy said it's a Social Security thing. Yeah, maybe. But guess what? We're VFW. We're supposed to be talking for our veterans. Now, we want to go to Social Security office. I could bike 1 mile away, and I got one. I could change all my information. Great. What about those guys? I mean, what about those guys? DPA, Europe? You think they could just bike? Maybe. You got to ride a plane just to go to a Social Security office, which is not really a Social Security office. Now, the last time that I remember, VFW is supposed to be fighting for veterans. Now, do not wash your hands and be like Pontius Pilate, saying that, oh, it's a Social Security thing. We are veterans. We're fighting for veterans. They are veterans. They're living outside the U.S. by their choice. Most of them are retired. Most of them are from the Vietnam War era. You think they could just fly to the U.S. anytime they want to? Money-wise or maybe health-wise? No. So they have to use the U.S. mail system, which may take 90 days or more just to get all these forms. Now, I used to manage people from Social Security in D.C. area. You could do a lot of stuff online. Yes, right. 7162, you cannot. You have to do it by mail, snail mail. Okay, snail mail. I don't know how the other countries are. I'm just going to base it on my wife's country, Philippines. If I mail something from Maryland to my wife's mom, a regular mail, a simple letter, it takes 90 days or above. And that's with first class, and I even put a lot of stamps on it, just a letter. Now, when I was trying to get my wife to go to the US, when I was doing my K-1 visa, okay, just to put 1 page to get it within 3 to 5 days using FedEx, it'll cost me $100, and that was then. Do you think all these veterans, most likely they're Vietnam War veteran era people, have that much money? No. So no, it is not because it's a Social Security thing. We are fighting for the veterans on other countries, okay? So we have to tell Congress or whoever, Social Security people, stop messing with all the people, try to go to the 21st century, make everything online. Now, having managed their IT, not everything can be, you can't get everything online when you're outside the country, okay? Even if you use your VPN, you cannot do online stuff. Maybe a simple 1040Z, yeah, fine, okay. What about all these stuff? If you want to change your information, let's say you're 90 years old, you're dying. Do you have 100 days to get all those information done by mail so that you could have your next of kin be known on Social Security that they are going to have their money? No, because they might not have enough time. Why wait? Why make Social Security not change? I mean, Social Security is really bad when it comes. They are a technophobe.
Comrade, thank you. Your time has expired.
Sorry.
Microphone 1, please.
Commander-in-Chief, James Collins, Delegate, Department of Pacific Areas. Excuse me. Okay, we're saying this is not a veterans issue. It is a veterans issue. It's also a widows issue. We have, just in the VFW, we have 12,500 members in the Department of Pacific Areas that this affects. In Post 2485, we have our service officer, or now benefits advisor. We deal almost daily with people who do not receive these forms through the mail and have their Social Security benefits cut off, both veterans and widows. Okay, and we have more veterans over there that aren't members of the VFW. They don't qualify. That are in the American Legion and other veterans organizations. So it is a veterans issue, a veterans and dependent widow issue that we deal with all the time over there. You got 60 days to get this form back. If they don't get back to the Social Security within 60 days, they cut off your benefit. Then we have to go through a nut roll to get the benefits reinstated. And for people who don't live overseas, this thing about you just go on a website and do it, no you don't. If you're overseas, you have to return this form yearly to make sure your benefits are continue, okay? So it is a veterans issue. There's 12,500 veterans that are in the Pacific areas. 95% of them are retired drawing Social Security, because you can't live over in the Pacific areas without having some type of retirement. You're not allowed to work in most of these countries. So you have to be retired, and most people, just like we had a note the other thing, that most of our veterans, the average age of the VFW for the veteran is 76 years old. Most of our people who are retired overseas are well over the 70 mark, and they are drawing Social Security. And they pass away, and their widows are drawing Social Security, or their dependents that are under 18 have Social Security benefits. They have to return these forms annually, and a lot of times, by the time they get the form, it's already over the 60 days. So I move that we approve this resolution. Thank you, Commander-in-Chief.
Thank you. Microphone number 1, please.
Commander-in-Chief Ralph Adderus, Post 10506, Department of Europe. I get this form. I'm a veteran. I have no problem with it. I get it every 2 years. My wife gets it. We fill it out and send it back. If I don't send it back, they're going to cut off my Social Security benefits. Plain and simple. I move we disapprove this.
Thank you. Microphone number 3, please.
Move to approve. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Microphone 3.
Commander Marcy Phillips, VFW Post 4709 out of Texas. I'm not speaking in favor nor opposed to this. I would just like some clarity, because the resolution says that it's Form 1761. I'm unable to find Form 1761 from Social Security. I am able to find 7161. That may be a typo. I just wanted to double check. Thank you.
We'll check with the staff and announce. Microphone number 1, please.
Commander-in-Chief Monty Zimmerman, delegate from 7589, Virginia. I'm a frequent visitor to Thailand. The mail system in Thailand is horrible. I've mailed stuff that's never gotten to Thailand. I've mailed stuff from Thailand that's never gotten to the United States. The mail system is the only way that an overseas veteran can interact with the Social Security Administration. They are disallowed from doing this online for the most part. So this is a significant problem for our overseas veterans. 39,000 veterans live overseas, so this is a significant issue for veterans. In fact, veterans, I would assume, make the majority of the retirees that are affected by this problem. Thank you, Commander-in-Chief.
Thank you. Microphone number 1. I'll come back.
Commander Steve Organ, Department of Mississippi, Post 5395. I called a question.
No, out of order.
Out of order. Out of order. I called on microphone 1.
Commander-in-Chief Robert Dorst, Department of Europe Service Officer, Post 9342. I want to clear some misconceptions up. First one is that the veterans that live overseas chose to. That's not necessarily true. A lot of them act as GS employees, as contractors, sustaining the fighting strength, working in hospitals, acting as combat multipliers for troops in operational mode. They represent the best of us, the best of the United States, and projecting the United States by being veterans. So that choice of living there is basically limiting their options and limiting their benefits based on geography, which is inherently wrong. Secondly, accessing Social Security benefits is not a simple situation overseas. There's not one right answer. It depends on the country you're in, on the resources, the United States embassies that are near you. They have federal benefits units in some embassies, but not all. And these federal benefits units do have Social Security representatives, just like they have VA representatives that are there in theory to assist veterans to access these benefits. They're understaffed, they're underpaid, and they have limited resources. The veterans that want to access these things have to go through the digital environment to make an appointment. Now, how many of you are really comfortable with a government digital platform? Because it's really easy to navigate. The fact of the matter is it's confusing. You can call them all day and not get an answer. You can make an appointment, and then there's a regional holiday and they won't be there. You can, in some cases, go to a DoD facility where they have a retirement services officers that may or may not help you. But access to a DoD facility overseas is dependent on the status of the forces agreement. Whether you have access to that post or not is determined by the laws, because you're a guest by the host nation. So it's not one answer, it's not, one situation applies to all. But limiting resources based on geography is inherently wrong, and we should apply due diligence in every resource we have as VFW members and as an organization to promote that access to earned benefits, regardless if not everybody who lives overseas is a veteran. They're still American, and they're still projecting American ideology and representing the best of us because they chose to be out there. And while not all veterans did, they built families, and they built a life there. And they're still representing.
Comrade, your time is up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Microphone 3.
That's me, right?
I believe it is.
Commander, Steve Organ, Department of Mississippi, Post 5395, called a question.
Do I have a second?
Is there a second? Microphone 1.
Commander-in-Chief Dwayne Sarmiento, Post Delegate 5579, past Commander-in-Chief. I second the motion.
Thank you very much. All right.
We're going to clarify the question that was posed by the comrade as far as what the numbers are. So your chairman's going to take it back up.
All right. Mr. Chairman.
Commander-in-Chief, point of clarification to the comrade that brought up the form numbers. You are correct. For those that are looking at your booklet, the correct form number involved or forms involved are SSA 7161 and 7162. There was an inverse of some numerals. Again, it should read 7161, 7162. Nothing else changed.
Thank you very much. Would you refresh me on what we're voting on? So we're on. Which one is that? 405. Okay. All right, we've called the question on 405. So all of in favor of adopting?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, the question wasn't called. Yeah.
So.
He just said the call for question.
So we're calling the question. What day is it? No. All right. All those in favor of calling the question signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Okay? So now we're going to go on the resolution 405. All those in favor of adopting 405 signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Again, a close one, but the ayes have it. It was not close, okay? Yes, sir, please.
Thank you, Chief. Continuing, I will now read the resolution numbers, in this case 1, and titles that the committee recommends for approval as amended. I'll give you a moment. Open up to Resolution 403. Referring down to the third whereas paragraph, the amendment is added, but, quote, but not limited to, close quote. That's in the third whereas, and added, again, continue to conduct comprehensive research. It be resolved. I'm sorry, that's 406 that I... Yes, my apologies. Another typo, my apologies. 406 is what we're referring to, so again, I'll give you a moment to get to 406. Everything I stated is the amendment, but it's 406. Okay? Commander, I move to accept the committee's recommendation to approve this resolution 406 as amended.
I have a point of order at microphone number 3.
Comrade Commander, Al Dorn, 2503, delegate from Nebraska. I believe we've already approved this motion, this resolution.
Point well taken. Oh, come on.
Disregard.
Okay.
Comrade, well taken. 406 was already approved.
Yeah. Comrade, good catch. 40, that one was already approved. So thank you very much for pointing that out.
All right, back to you, Chairman.
There's a little bit of this. Give me a second here, Chief.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to try this again. The resolution is, in fact, 403. The title of that resolution is Research Blast Overpressure. Research Blast Overpressure, Resolution 403. It is the committee's recommendation that the convention adopt 403 as amended. And since there was some dancing on that, let me give you that amendment one more time. Research blast overpressure, we will add, quote, but not limited to, close quote, in the third whereas, and, quote, continue to conduct comprehensive research in the be it resolved. That, Commander-in-Chief, with my apologies, is the recommendation to accept the committee to approve 403 as amended. Sir.
Motion from the committee to adopt. Discussion, please. Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor? Well, All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries.
We are. I will now read the resolution numbers and titles that the committee failed to adopt. 408, titled Establishing a Global War on Terrorism Veterans Day. 409, adding 74 sailors on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Commander, I recommend that we do not adopt these resolutions, and without a motion to approve, these resolutions will not be advanced.
Is there any motion to set aside? Hearing and seeing none, these motions are dead.
And Chief, I will now turn it over to Past Commander Chief Harmon, who will provide the POWMIA subcommittee report on those resolutions to be considered by the convention. Chief Harmon?
Commander-in-Chief Lippert, I report that your subcommittee on POWMIA convened with the National Security and Foreign Affairs Committee and carefully deliberated 3 resolutions for the subcommittee. I will now proceed by reading the 3 resolution numbers and titles that the committee recommends for approval as written. Resolution number 401, protect POWMIA full accounting mission funding. Resolution 404, repatriate America's first foreign war casualties. Resolution number 407, adding recovered awaiting DNA confirmation category to DPAA and DNA match notifications through Ancestry websites. Commander, I move to accept the committee's recommendations to approve these resolutions.
You heard the committee report. Is there any discussion? Any discussion or any set-asides? Seeing none, the motion, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Nice have it. Thank you.
Commander-in-Chief, this concludes the report of National Security and Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on POWMIA. Thank you.
Thank you. Stand that you're ready.
Thank you very much.
Microphone
3. Yes, I see there's a comrade at microphone number 3.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief, a statement for the record. Dan West, Post 3413, San Marcos, Texas, Adjutant General of the Veterans of Foreign Wars. I would like to thank the delegates here for approving Resolution 404 to bring our first American foreign war casualties home, even though they have been abandoned by our government. Thank you for having the courage to stand up and demand that they be repatriated where they can receive proper military burials instead of the desecration afflicted upon them to this day by the enemies of our nation.
Now we're going to have the report on Committee Veterans Service Resolutions by Chairman, Past Commander-in-Chief Bob Wallace.
Happy Veterans Day, everybody. Because every day is Veterans Day in our VFW. Commander Lippert, I report that the Convention Committee on Veterans Service Resolutions convened at 1:30 Sunday, August 10th, 2025. Roll call was taken. proper introductions were made and aggressive discussions of the resolutions took place. I want to thank, first of all, the departments that submitted resolutions. There were some excellent resolutions submitted that were approved. I want to thank the committee members for getting involved in the resolutions and amending them as required, or as necessary, I should say. I also want to thank the Washington office, Christina from the Legislative Affairs, Mike, Chris, Greg, and especially Jeff from NVS for their hard work, and my co-partner in crime over here, where is he? Here he is. Tim Borland, he must think something's going to be shot at me because he's standing a little bit further back than I expected. I'll now proceed by reading the resolution numbers and titles that the committee recommends for approval as written. 601, Protecting Health Care and Benefits. 602, Toxic Exposures. 603, Mental Health Disorders. 604, Ensure Veteran Success in Education. 607, Medicare. 608, Foreign Medical Program, Medical Records. 609, the imperative of the Veterans Health Administration providing nexus statements. 610, Healthcare Program for Overseas Veterans. 611, VA to reimburse eligible overseas veterans for urgent care and emergency room visits. 617, Supporting Physicians' Assistance. 618, fully support President Trump's executive order holding the Department of Veterans Affairs accountable to utilizing the West Los Angeles campus as intended, and more by establishing a National Center for Warrior Independence. 620, recognition of military sexual violence. The following resolutions were approved as amended. 605, VA nursing home annual inspection. 606, dental care eligibility. 614, VFW opposes budget cuts that harm veterans and their families. 619, designation and protection of military graves as sacred ground. Common Commander, I move the committee's recommendations be approved by this convention.
Are there any set-asides on the motions that have been recommended for approval by the committee? Microphone 1.
David Bozarth, Post 257, Missouri. I request set-aside of Resolution 602.
602 will be set aside. Microphone number 3.
Lonnie Dolphinball, Department of Mississippi, Post 12124, like a set aside 610.
610 will be set aside. Any others set asides? Seeing no further discussion, we'll go to 602. Microphone number 1, please.
Commander-in-Chief, again, David Bozarth, Post 257 in Missouri. I make a motion to amend 602 with a paragraph as follows. Be it resolved that the veterans of foreign wars of the United States urge Congress to direct the Department of Veterans Affairs to conduct comprehensive research on the correlation between environmental conditions aboard submarines, including the submarine atmosphere and ionizing radiation, and the medical conditions diagnosed and treated in active duty and veteran submariners, and.
Out of order.
I believe that's out of order.
That's the amendment.
The motion is out of order.
The motion is out of order.
Motion 3.
Microphone number 3, please.
He wants to know why. Do you want me to
Yeah. There you go.
Comrade, microphone 1, the reason that motion would be ruled out of order is in accordance with our convention rules that we all voted on. Rule number 5, all resolutions offered on the floor at the convention will initially be in writing. That has to be put in writing because you're going to be reintroducing it on the floor as an amendment.
And thank you.
Can you do that later? Pardon? Continue discussions on microphone number 3, please.
All right, Lonnie Dolphin, Post 12124, Department of Mississippi. 610, it was discussed after the committee meeting yesterday.
I'm sorry, we're not there yet. We're still on 602.
Okay.
Any further discussion on 602? Hearing none, but it was out of order, wasn't it?
No, just that one. So, hearing none, take the vote.
All right. Hearing none, the committee recommended approval?
Christina's on her way.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you are. Are we still talking 602?
602. You want to give the staff comments on 602? They're going to pass anyways.
I just want to make sure I'm listening to the right number. Current one?
602. That's what we're talking about right now.
And 615 is the launch.
Yeah, we're not even.
Okay. So just want to add that the staff comments for Resolution 602 are in favor of rejection, and the reason is because there is an existing Resolution 615, toxic exposures, which covers all toxic exposures, all conflicts, all eras, and so that broad overarching resolution would cover this cohort, meaning that the resolution is unnecessary. Those are the staff comments. Thank you.
Number 1, please.
Yes, Doug Wood, Post 6539, Massachusetts. The amendment to 602 was deemed out of order due to Rule 5. Rule 4 says all resolutions offered by individual delegates must bear the endorsement of the district commander or adjutant, must be submitted to the office of the adjutant general for numbering no later than 12 o'clock on Tuesday, August 12th. So can that still get put in?
Put it in writing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a yes.
Yes, that's a yes.
In writing.
Doesn't matter if it
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay. Thank you. Any further discussion? Sir.
Comrade Doug, Massachusetts, just for clarity, yes, rule number 4, resolutions are still being accepted. They must be routed properly in writing. The committee will be reconvened in order to decide on that amendment. Just so everybody's on the same page procedurally. Copy, Roger?
Thank you.
Yep. Any other discussion on 602?
Chair recognizes microphone number 1.
Thank you, Comrade Commander. My name is William White, Post Commander 3466, South Charleston, West Virginia. I just want clarification, sorry. She said it was Resolution 615. Is that what she said? 615 deals with tobacco and harm reduction policies, including offering veterans access to an education.
Comrade, she's referring to last year's convention.
Oh, last year's convention.
And 615 covered all that we were talking about. So
that was
it's not this. It's not this 615.
Well, that's what.
But it's but it's already there.
Okay.
All right.
Want to make sure.
Good. Thank you. Microphone number 3.
Commander, Jason Kelly, Post 8641, Merrimack, New Hampshire, Junior Vice Commander of New Hampshire as well. Point of order, we have an open motion for the approvals that were not set aside that has not yet been voted on.
We went into discussion. We're dealing with 602.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So we're still dealing with 602. Are we ready to vote on 602? I see no one else there. All those in favor of adopting 602 signify by saying aye. All those opposed, nay. Nays have it. Nays have it.
Now we're going to discuss 610.
610, right?
All right. Now we're going to 610. Any discussion on 610? Number 3. Stand by.
Yep. It did.
There we go.
There it is. Lonnie Dolphinball, Department of Mississippi, Post 12124. Just wanted to add on to 610, where it says, commit to leveraging technological tools and resources to enroll all eligible veterans. That word eligible was, I think, left off by mistake. It probably does need to be in writing, but...
We have the word eligible. So, right, same rules apply.
Same rule is going to apply. Just write it. You got till noon on Tuesday to get it to the committee so the committee can review. Any other discussion on 610? All right, any other discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor of adopting 610 signify by saying aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Been adopted. 610.
Now, in block form, you're going to vote on 601, 602, read them out. In block form.
Okay. All right, now we're going to vote in block form the following, to approve the following resolutions. 601, protecting health care and benefits. Title 603, mental health disorders. 604, ensure veteran success in education. 607, Medicare. 608, foreign medical program medical records. 609, the imperative of the Veterans Health Administration providing nexus statements. 620, recognition of military sexual violence. All in favor? Say aye. All opposed, nay. Motion? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Back to them.
Good afternoon, comrades. The following resolutions will recommend for rejection. Resolution 605, VA nursing home annual inspections. 606, dental care eligibility. 614, VFW opposes budget cuts that harm veterans and their families. And 619, designation and protection of military graves as sacred ground. Are there any set-asides? Any set-asides? Any set-asides? Those resolutions die. As you were, our notes are just a little bit messed up. We just do things like that a little bit. Just a correction for the comrades in the room. Resolution 614 did get adopted, so that is not rejected. It's just 605, 606, and 619. I saw no set-asides, so those 3 resolutions die. Thank you, comrades. Commander-in-Chief, that concludes our veteran service resolutions. Oh, we got someone coming up on the floor? Boy, I'll tell you right now, Army, you need about double time next time, Deb. California.
Commander-in-Chief, Deb Johnson, Delegate, Post 10859, Department of California. I sat in the meeting yesterday. 619 was approved as amended. So I don't understand why it came to the floor as rejected.
If I may. I apologize. I corrected myself because I had the wrong notes. 614 was approved as amended.
This is 619.
Oh,
Commander-in-Chief.
619. Okay, 619. Been a long day, hasn't it?
Do you need my glasses, Chief?
So I know you all. I know you all love me. Yes, I need glasses, and I don't have them. Okay.
Yeah.
So 619 needs to be voted on.
We needed comedy relief.
Yes, 619.
Go ahead, take it. That was approved.
Okay, I'm going to just say this. Resolution 619 was recommended for approval with amendment. So that is approved with amendment. You're welcome. Thank you, Deb. I know her very personal, about 20 years. That's why she can get away with something like that.
Microphone number 1.
Comrade, National Commander Monty Zimmerman, delegate from VFW Post 7589, Virginia. I also sat in on the meeting. Number 605 and 606 were also approved. We had a significant amount of discussion, and former Commander-in-Chief Bob Wallace talked to me about Jim Webb and why we should support things. And so just to refresh the memory, those two were also approved.
They were approved as amended.
As amended.
They were in the original list that I read off.
Okay,
605, 606, 614,
Comrades, comrades.
So there is no bridge too far.
Comrades, I don't know about you, but I'm somewhat confused.
Yes.
So I'm going to start over. Not for the whole day, but we're going to begin this one again, okay? Because I want to make sure that we get it right. So, could we start over, please, sir? Just verify what was approved and what was that you recommended for approval.
Okay, the ones that were approved as written, 601, 602, 603. They want to. Am I going too fast? Is that the problem?
Yeah, you want not only the number, but you want the title? Oh, slow down. Yeah,
Slow?
down. Yeah.
For guys like you, Ken, I understand. Okay, 601, protecting healthcare and benefits. 602, toxic exposures. 603, mental health disorders. 604, ensure veteran success in education. 607, Medicare. 608, foreign medical program medical records. 609, the imperative of the Veterans Health Administration providing nexus statements. 610, healthcare program for overseas veterans. 611, VA to reimburse eligible overseas veterans for urgent care and emergency room visits. 617, supporting physicians' assistants. 618, fully support President Trump's executive order holding the Department of Veterans Affairs accountable to utilizing the West Los Angeles campus as intended and more by establishing a national center for warrior independence. 620, recognition of military sexual trauma. Approved as amended. 605, VA nursing home annual inspections. 606, dental care eligibility. 614, VFW opposes cuts that harm veterans and their families. 619, designation and protection of military graves as sacred ground. Those were all approved by the committee, and the motion I made earlier was to recommend that the convention approve them.
Are they under set-asides? We already have 610 set aside and 602 set aside. Anything in addition to 602 or 610 being set aside? Microphone 1.
Commander-in-Chief Patricia Werner, Delegate Post 52, Department of California. I'd like to set aside 612.
612 has not been brought up yet. Out of order.
They recommended
612 is not even, just say
right now that's out of order because we haven't brought it up yet.
Oh, okay, because
Okay.
Any other set aside?
Any other set aside?
Other than 602 and 610.
Other than 602 and 610.
Hearing none in block form.
Okay.
Except for 602 and 610.
So again, we did this once. In block form, other than 602 and 610, all in favor, signify by saying aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Ayes have it.
602.
602.
We've already had discussion. Is there any further?
We've already had discussion on that.
Is there any further?
Is there any further discussion? Any further discussion?
Hearing and seeing none.
Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, nay.
Nays have it.
Nays have it. Thank you.
610.
Now let's go to 610.
Any further discussion?
Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it.
Back to you, Chairman.
Back to the chairman.
Okay, since we started over and I do have my glasses on now, these are the resolutions that we recommend for rejection. Resolution 612, female reproductive cancers and other gynecological conditions due to toxic exposure. Resolution 613, toxic exposures to U.S. Navy submariners. Resolution 615, supporting harm reduction and opposing prohibition in nicotine use policy. And Resolution 616, supporting clinical psychedelic drug treatment. Are there any resolutions set aside?
Is there a motion to adopt any of these resolutions?
Are there any motions to adopt these resolutions? I recognize, give it to the Commander-in-Chief. I thought I was Commander-in-Chief, sorry.
yeah, I was.
Microphone one.
Microphone number one.
Commander-in-Chief, Patricia Warner, Post 52, Department of California, 612, set aside.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
Is that a motion to set?
Is that a motion to set that set
Well,
aside or
actually,
a motion to accept?
Let's do a motion to adopt.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Is there a second? Is there a second to adopt?
Microphone two? No, not two.
Microphone number three looks like. Go ahead.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief, Centauria Loudon, Post 9972 Delegate. I second that motion.
All right. Motion's been made and seconded. Now let's go to discussion.
Where? Staff comments first.
Staff comments first.
Thank you, Commander-in-Chief. Mike Figlioli, National Veteran Service Director. We recommended rejection of this resolution in favor of last year's 615, which is still currently standing, which would cover this particular topic.
So any further discussion on 612? I recognize microphone one.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief, this is Patricia Warner, Post 52, Delegate to this convention, Department of California. I don't think this goes enough. I was stationed at Fort Rucker, Alabama. I had a grandson that was alive for 12 years. My daughter has a damaged chromosome. That's why I had a grandson that was born with a very rare genetic condition called Joubert syndrome. They cannot connect it to anything. Currently, under what we have now, there are no conditions except for spinal bifida that is actually named as a hazardous disease. We need to do more for our women veterans and our families, to do more research to find out what other caustic or chemical diseases were caused by these toxic exposures. And I'm hoping that our male comrades will back us up on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor of adopting 612 signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
Are there any other motions to adopt?
Are there any other motions to adopt? To adopt. Microphone 2.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief, Jesse Eastburn, VFW Post.
Mike, the mic is mic's off.
We're good. We're good.
We're good now? Okay, go ahead.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief, Jesse Eastburn, VFW Post 1 from Colorado. Motion to adopt 615.
Is there a second?
Is there a second?
Comrade Commander-in-Chief John Keane, also Post 1, Denver, Colorado. I second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded.
Recognize microphone 2 for discussion.
Microphone 2 for discussion.
Comrade Commander, comrades. The reason why I wrote this is because the VA is giving people the only option right now is medications that side effects include suicidal ideations. All these other products that are out there for smokeless cessation have none of those side effects, and I believe that we as the VFW should support veterans and giving veterans a choice for how they choose to quit smoking and using tobacco products.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Any further discussion?
Hearing none.
Hearing none.
Discussion is closed. Discussion is closed.
Discussion is closed.
Staff
So,
comments.
staff comments.
Thank you, Commander-in-Chief. Mike Figlioli, National Service Director. Comrade, the VA has a very robust smoking cessation program to include outreach, to include electronic tools, apps, medications. Therefore, we recommend rejection of this amendment.
You've heard the discussion. All those in favor of adopting 615 signify by saying aye. All those opposed, nay. It is rejected.
Are there any other motions to adopt?
Are there any other motions to adopt?
Are there any other motions?
Mic 1, please.
Commander-in-Chief, Nick Sewall, VFW 7175, Millington, Tennessee. I'm here as a delegate. I'd like to make a motion to approve 616, the supporting clinical psychedelic drug treatment.
Thank you. Is there a second? Microphone 2.
Commander-in-Chief, Jesse Eastburn, VFW Post 1. I also second this motion.
Okay. Microphone 1, discussion.
Commander-in-Chief, Nick Sewall again. I have multiple things to say about this. So I'm also here as a representative of the Grunt Style Foundation, using alternative modalities to heal veterans with PTSD is one of our primary missions. Clinical studies show in phase 3 of clinical trials, 67% of participants with severe PTSD no longer qualify for a PTSD diagnosis after undergoing MDMA-assisted therapy. 88% of participants reported reduction in PTSD symptoms after MDMA therapy, showing significant improvement in mental health. For psilocybin, for alcohol use, study on alcohol dependence, 83% of participants showed reduced drinking at the 8-month follow-up after undergoing psilocybin-assisted therapy. 50% of participants were abstinent from alcohol after 12 months in the same treatment. A Stanford study has shown that ibogaine treatment has led to 88% reduction in PTSD, 87% reduction in depression symptoms, and 81% reduction in anxiety symptoms. Also, I'd like to add that the VA just approved psychedelic treatment for PTSD, so the VFW should not be going against a direction that the VA is already traveling in. And I yield.
Microphone number 3.
Commander-in-Chief, I'm Denise Estes from the great state of Nevada, and unless I misunderstood, has the federal government legalized LSD? If they haven't, I'm surprised that VA has said yes to this. I was on the committee a few years ago when they were trying to make, when they wanted VA to legalize marijuana at the VA hospitals, and at that time, VFW turned it down because the federal government did not legalize marijuana. And unless the federal government legalizes LSD, I don't see how a VA hospital could legalize it, and I don't see how VFW can push the VA, which is a federal entity, into prescribing this.
Thank you, comrade. Recognized, microphone 3.
Comrade Commander-in-Chief John Mucklebauer, General Counsel, Delegate 3712. Comrade Commander-in-Chief, I request that a point of order be taken on this matter. This resolution has already substantially been covered. The material is in 603, which has been adopted by this committee. It has all been addressed, so I request that this matter be considered as already adopted under 603 and further discussion be ruled out of order.
This is substantially the same as 603. It's ruled out of order. Thank you.
This resolution is covered by 603, and so it is out of order. It's already been decided.
Thank you.
It's affirmed.
Any other motions to adopt?
Any more motions to adopt? We're getting fastly approaching our hard stop.
All motions that would not move to be adopted have failed.
All motions that have not moved to be adopted have failed.
Back to your committee.
Go back to the committee. Thank you. Do you have anything else? That's it?
Thank you, sir.
Close her out, brother.
Apologize for the confusion, but every day is still Veterans Day.
Every day is still Veterans Day. Thank you, sir.
And there's nothing wrong with you people, the delegates to the convention, voicing your concerns. That's what you're here for, and that's what makes our organization strong.
I'm going to ask the Adjutant General to come to the podium, but I also want to, because we still have, again, we weren't able to get to the bylaws. That'll be brought up tomorrow. So I think it'll be brought up tomorrow. But I too want to say to you, did you see what you get when you get involved and you get up and you speak? You're heard. We did what you said you wanted. And I thank you for that. And I encourage you, when you go back, to make sure you tell your comrades that say, well, I don't like this. Well, you know what? Get your butt to the National Convention where you can speak and be heard. Comrade Adjutant General.
We'll just give some announcements and then we'll recess. Afternoon, comrades. So we got some quick announcements for you. So again, you've got 8 minutes to get over to the VFW store to buy your bandana for tonight's banquet. If, for whatever reason, you missed that and you bring your $6, they should have some over there. They may not. but you can always come back to the store tomorrow and buy it as a souvenir that you can take home and, do whatever you want to with. Chief's reception on Wednesday, you must be here to get a ticket. If you don't get a ticket, you don't get to see me and several others in our kilts while we're listening to bagpipes. Nothing, really. Nothing from the Navy guys. Make sure you get over to the VFW store so you can buy that gear that you've long awaited for, wanted to touch and feel. It's there. Make sure you buy it. They also have the I Survived the Roll Call Vote of 2024. For those of you that were in the airborne, no rappelling from the rafters. Please, if you're going out in the Ville, go in groups of 4 or more. Do not abandon your buddy and leave them there. Do not add to or subtract from the population. If you get arrested, establish dominance early. We have EMTs on site. If you're feeling sick, go to your room. Be sick in your room. Don't be sick here, because then you'll get everybody else sick. If, for whatever reason, you decide not to do that and you go down, please understand you're in an outfit where every Army medic and Navy corpsman will self-identify in their attempt to get to you. You will know if it's an Army medic because they'll immediately start chest compressions. You'll know if it's a Navy corpsman because they'll start mouth-to-mouth. Y'all make the mistake that a Marine by himself is ever outnumbered, so... Patriotic rally will be tomorrow. Make sure you get your patriotic gear. We'll start line up at 5:15. The exhibit hall will close tomorrow, Tuesday at 12 noon. Make sure you go by, say thank you to the sponsors that are there. If you're going to the banquet tonight, we have some very special dignitaries there. Be nice to them. Don't hog all their time. I know some of you want to give them your life story. You get 32 seconds with each one, and then you're going to have to move on. Commanders' luncheons for state commanders, state senior vice commanders, state junior vice commanders. They will start tomorrow at 1 p.m. If you're going to the All-American luncheon, you must have a ticket. And House Heroes, big screen to my right. Commander-in-Chief, that's all the announcements I have before we dismiss.
Comrades, this session of the 126th National Convention is now in recess. Comrade Sergeant at Arms.
Comrades, all rise. Comrade National Chaplain, will you lead us in our closing prayer?
With the recess, there's no prayer. You want a prayer?
Let's pause for prayer. I don't want to leave without talking to God.
Uncover, parade, hist!
Almighty God, as we come to the close of this meeting today, we're grateful for the opportunity to gather and conduct business of the foreign wars, veterans of foreign wars, in an orderly and respectful manner. As we depart, continue to interact with one another, may each person's life be enriched by the spirit of true comradeship, mutual support, and shared dedication. Amen.
Amen. Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. Attention. Huh. Comrades, please join me in a final salute to our colors. Present. Huh. Order. Huh. Comrade Commander-in-Chief, that completes closing ceremonies for this session of the 126th National Convention of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.